Okay, let's get the views now of Aymeric. He's a journalist, a publisher, and he joins us this afternoon. Very good to have you on, Aymeric. Thanks for your time. Firstly, with this decision that came out this afternoon, were you surprised?
Oh, I was a bit surprised when I say that when I saw George Galloway on RT, which is an opponent to lots of institutions in Britain, but he said that the British judiciary system is maybe relatively the last uncorrupted part of the British state. And I was surprised myself because it's exactly the country in my country in France. But of course, it's not over. We are defending men, and we are defending principles, and there is hope, new hope for the men. That is for sure, and we must take advantage of it. For the principle, it's something else.
Everyone, because, sorry, go on.
Oh yes, although the request was rejected, Judge Barrett accepted virtually all of the allegations against Julian Assange. That's very bad for journalism, and I still believe that Julian Assange has been targeted as a publisher. I disagree with the judge's assessment that this case is not politically motivated. It's on the contrary.
Unfortunately, though, or whichever way or which side you're on, that is the verdict, isn't it? That this case, Julian Assange, they say, look, it wasn't politically motivated and there's no public interest defence. The only reason we're not extraditing him is due to mental health concerns. It's not a great day for journalism, is it, when you hear that?
Yeah, no, of course not. It's not a great day. I think it's this ruling is a matter of concern because someone else could easily be criminalized in the future. But I think for Julian, the next approach for him was going to Geneva in Switzerland with a humanitarian visa. It takes on its full meaning right now because I would like to remind you, and I'm surprised that the media in English don't talk about it enough. The Parliament of the Grand Canton of Geneva has voted by a vast majority to grant him a humanitarian visa so that he could be treated at the university hospitals of Geneva. If it's a matter of health, it could be important. And they voted for it. That's a state, a region of the state voted for that. And the fact is that Julian Assange must be able to apply for it himself. This is the only condition that is missing for the moment. And who can present this option to Julian Assange to get his approval? I think the Swiss Federal Council should quickly mandate Nils Metzer, which everybody knows him. He's the UN reporter on torture, very active on Assange's case, or the Swiss ambassador in London. I think it will be the next step in order for Britain to save face, because we can see that they were not totally agreed to this prosecution by the US.
Just talking about the media coverage, I don't know if you noticed this, but certainly a few years ago, there was a lot more support in the media for Julian Assange. What was the trigger that changed it all, do you think?
I think behind all this situation, the United States has succeeded in creating a state of terror and impunity. That's why I totally agree with you. There's a major problem for journalism today because beyond Assange, there is a persecution of journalism. Beyond the persecution of journalism, there is imposition of an extraterritorial law. And beyond this, the fact that the US believes itself to be above international law. Just take an example, they are voting for the blockade against Cuba, against the huge majority of the countries in the UN. And I think there is a climate, a war climate that is completely dangerous for freedom of speech and for truth in general.
Do you think this saga is now over, or would you expect this whole Assange case to rumble on for months and maybe years to come?
I would say it's a riddle wrapped in a mystery, because it's the United States are at a turning point in its history. We could speak about a state of latent civil war. I don't know how they will react. It's true that they will appeal. I saw that Assange's lawyer Fitzgerald said the U.S. prosecutors will have indicated that they will appeal the ruling. But I don't know what they are going to do in the future. I wouldn't venture a prognosis.
Yeah, there's one way to close all of this, and that would be a pardon from President Trump. What are your views on that? What are the chances?
Oh, I wouldn't say. It's very, very difficult to see. I'm not living in the US. I'm living in France. I'm not, as a Frenchman, I'm not hardly in a position to talk about British-American relations, because, as you know, the French have historically helped the Americans to conquer their independence. But indeed, historical awareness of things makes you understand that the alliance of the two English-speaking countries, like the US and Britain, is too long in time to be called into question by this case. But for President Trump, I don't know. I don't know exactly what he will do. It's very difficult to say.
Okay, and just lastly, Aymeric, if Assange did find himself facing trial in America for whatever reason, do you think he would get a fair trial there?
Of course not. When you have an entire political class that is virtually against him, as you see some assessments by Trump, but also by Hillary Clinton, you want. Cannot explain that the Republicans are against him, the Democrats are for him. It's completely different. I think we must concentrate on other states, maybe other solutions. But I think that the late implementation of Brexit creates precisely the right time to try this Swiss solution, given that Switzerland is also outside the European Union, like Britain. I think it's a good moment for it.
Yeah, it's certainly an interesting avenue to explore. Aymeric, look, thanks for your time this afternoon. It's been nice speaking with you. That was Aymeric Monville. He's a journalist and publisher. Thanks for coming on.